I've never made a video on this because it's embarrassing. It's really, really embarrassing. In fact, some of the people that I have told this story to kind of just laugh. But I guess that's the benefit of being a man in this society. 40% of rapes and sexual assaults are actually on men. But when was the last time you heard about a man getting raped in the news? I haven't heard one for ages, not a well-documented one anyway. Well, you hear about rapes on women all the time, but in reality, it's nearly 50-50 percentage. A man getting raped should be seen as just as bad or just as important as a woman getting raped. I'm making this video not because I want attention, not because I want people to feel sorry for me, and I know that this video is going to get a lot of troll comments of people laughing at it saying, guys can't get raped, you're over exaggerating and all of this shit. If it was a woman making this video, everything would be a hell of a lot different, and that's fucked up. Equal rights, no? So this is a story of how I got sex. I don't even know how to explain it without looking like a douche, Jesus. I don't want to say rape, I don't want to say sexually assaulted, but this is a story of another YouTuber actually, who I'm not going to expose because that's pathetic, who made me have sex with them without my consent. Again, I'm only making this video to spread awareness that this does happen to men as well as women. That's it. So just over a year ago, I was at Summer in the City. Summer in the City is a big YouTube convention in England where fans can meet their favourite YouTubers and YouTubers in return can meet their fans. I like going to these places because I enjoy meeting the people that watch my videos, because obviously without them I would be nowhere. I would not have what I have, I would not be a YouTuber. And after the day's finished meeting your fans at Summer in the City and these other YouTube events, there's normally some like YouTuber after parties where pretty much all the YouTubers that are at these events come together and just party and get to know each other better and kind of build relationships. So during the day I kind of got friendly with a few YouTubers that I'd never met before, because you know we all did the same job and why not get to know them. One of these YouTubers was a girl. She was not directly one of the people that I was speaking to like in a friendly way. She was one of their friends' friends, if that makes sense. So we go to the party in the evening and I'm kind of like chilling around my new friends, I guess, like just getting to know them and having a bit of a laugh. It was in this like club in the O2. It was like a little like club room. It was like just one bar and a bowling alley, but it was turned into a club for the purposes of that night. I'm not sure the name of it. If you guys know, feel free to comment it below and people might understand where I'm talking about. Anyway, at these places I'm legally allowed to drink. Like it's a club sort of environment. I can drink, that's fine. So I was drinking that night, having a bit of a laugh with these people that I just met and you know, getting along with them really nicely. But this girl that was friends with them just wouldn't leave me alone all night. Like I remember just trying to get away from her, but she would come back like a homing missile. And normally as a guy, guys are seen to not mind this. Like if a girl was giving them attention, that's meant to be a good thing. But she was creepily just not leaving me alone. And it made me feel like really uncomfortable. So I went over to my other friends. I decided to stay with them instead of near her and that other group. And this girl kind of like came up to me after about an hour and apologised for being too in my face, but then kind of said that she wanted to like get to know me a bit better, and I didn't see that as a bad thing. I mean, like, I wasn't physically attracted to the girl, I wasn't attracted to the way that she acted, but you know, I'm not a dick, so I thought, you know, I'd get to know her. She might be a nicer person than she portrayed in the first few hours that I knew her. So she's like buying me drinks and stuff at this club, which like it's nice. It's nice to have drinks brought for you because it saves me money. And I didn't think anything of it. And she was like pouring me like doubles and then putting an extra shot of vodka into my drinks. So I was having like triple vodka, which is like half a cup, and Coke. which is like, I was having more vodka than Coke each drink, and she was telling me that they were doubles, and I was already a bit tipsy, so I believed it. And what I remember that night, after being as drunk as I was because of her not spiking my drinks, but making them a lot stronger than she told me they were, which I guess is spiking them. I only really remember bits of the night because obviously I was very, very drunk at that point. And I remember her saying that she didn't have anywhere to stay that night. And all of her friends were like, oh, why don't you stay at Mike's hotel? He's a nice guy. He won't try and touch you or anything. Like, he will respect you and all of this. And, you know, when you're drunk and people are telling you these things, you're like, oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'll do that. Because they were saying that I wouldn't touch her and all this, which I fucking wouldn't. So she got me completely blackout drunk and ended up staying at my hotel purely for the fact that she didn't have another hotel room, and her mates basically pushed me into doing that. And I felt kind of like obliged to let her stay in my room. I said that she could stay like and not pay for a bit of the night if she just slept on the floor, and I'll give her a pillow and stuff. And kind of everything after this is a bit patchy. I remember speaking to another girl that night, and this girl that was meant to be staying in my hotel room completely kicked off. Like, she went absolutely fucking batshit crazy at this other girl and started calling her all these names and shit. And I was kind of a bit confused, but again, I'd said that she could stay in my hotel room, and I felt obliged to let her stay in my drunk state. And I barely remember getting in the taxi. I barely remember coming back into my hotel room, but then like I remember bits and pieces from that night. And I remember I was like actually like pretty much passed out in bed. Like, I can't stress how drunk I was. I don't get drunk often, but I was fucking mortaled. And I remember, like, not vividly, but I remember it, that I was kind of blacked out in bed, and I woke up and she was touching me up, and I felt uncomfortable because, one, I was asleep because I was too drunk. Like, I'd passed out pretty much. Two, I was too drunk. Three, I had not consented to this, and I didn't want her to carry on. I didn't want to do anything with this girl. She was meant to be staying on the floor, and she'd somehow ended up in the bed. Like, she just joined in. And I told her to stop because I didn't want to do anything. I kind of rolled over, and I'm not sure if you guys have been drunk, but when you're drunk, everything just seems like a bit fucked up. So I remember telling her to stop, and I turned away, and I just felt really uncomfortable. But I think she thought that it was like a playful stop. Like, I'm not sure if she was used to guys telling her no, and that shouldn't be the case. Like, no means no, no matter if you're a boy or a girl. So she like carried on, and like she kind of went like down on me, and I was trying to push her off. But the more I tried to push her off, like, bearing in mind I was really drunk, the more she would carry on. Like, she thought I was being playful about it, I think, or just ignoring the fact that I didn't want her to do it. Basically, she pinned my arms down. Like, I was too drunk to do anything about this. Like, pinned my arms against the bed and basically straddled me, and the rest happened. I couldn't get her off me. I was too drunk. I told her no, and I was still telling her like, get off, but like, when you're drunk, you can't coordinate your body well enough to get any strength, and I basically just had to lay there and wait for her to finish. All of this is very blurry in my mind. It's all very patchy, but I know 100% for sure that it happened, because this girl went on and gloated about her having sex with me to other people. So I know 100% certain that she did have sex with me, but I wasn't consented to it. This whole experience kind of fucked up my head. Like, I haven't really drank since. I don't really like drinking because I don't like feeling vulnerable anymore. Like, if this exact same thing happened to a girl, or if I did that to a girl who was too drunk to do anything about it, and I basically forced them to have sex with me without their consent when they were telling me to stop, that is rape. I could get put in prison for that shit. But because it's a girl doing it to me, it just doesn't sound serious, and like even me saying it back just sounds stupid to me. And like when I told this story to like a couple of my friends, they kind of like laughed at it, and they were like they didn't take it seriously either, and that made me not take the whole situation seriously, and then it made me believe that maybe I did want it, which I know for a fact at the time I didn't. But when people are telling you, oh, that's jokes, I can't believe she did that, it's like, what do you think you're meant to believe? I feel stupid, as I said, I feel stupid just saying this story because I feel like an absolute pussy and I feel like pathetic. But again, if this happened to a girl instead of a boy and they went to YouTube and said the exact same stuff that I have just said, it would be taken so much differently. People would look at it so much differently. And I kind of just wanted to spread awareness that this does happen to a lot of guys as well as girls. If this does happen to you, don't be afraid to come out and speak about it. In fact, telling somebody's better than keeping it bottled up for over a year like I have. But it's a shame that there's a stigma against guys not being able to be raped or not being able to be sexually assaulted. Like, it's a bit fucked up, to be fair. Don't know what else to say about this, to be honest. I think that's pretty much it. I just want this to be taken as seriously as if a girl had it happen to them. Again, I'm not doing this for attention, I'm just spreading awareness that this does happen to boys as well, and we shouldn't be afraid to speak about it. And if a girl spoke about this, she would be called brave, and everybody would like support her, and everybody would take it seriously. And if I post this, I'm just gonna look like a twat. That's fucked up.